I knew that I didn't want to go to college at that time. I wanted to get out, and what was I doing while I was going to school for work? I was a car hop, waitressing tables, car hopping, and that was it. I wanted something else, and to get out of Utah, I looked at the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, and I chose the Air Force because my brother was in the Air Force, and I liked the program, and it was what I was looking for. So I left in June and went to Lackland Air Force Base.
June of 52?
Yes, sir. Went to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. When I joined the service, I had two friends. They said, "Oh, wait, and I want to go with you." Well, there was certain things that you had to do to get into the Air Force, and one of them couldn't get in. She was overweight, and the other one, she just kind of decided at the last minute, "Oh, maybe, yeah, I want to go, but I can't go right now." I had already been sworn in, so I was going. I left. I went to San Antonio, brand new barracks. It was hot. June, July, and August in San Antonio is hot. I was one of the first ones to be in that flight, which is considered a group. That was what, there were so many in the group, and I do not know, I can't remember now how many there were, but I was one of the first ones. And I got my roommates, and we just waited until we had enough to complete the flight number. I went through basic training, and it was basically the same training that the men had. We did KP, we got up in the middle of the night, we did marches, we did all that. I did not go to the firing range. They did not require that when I was in the service. I did not go to the firing range. The basic was, as I said, basically like the men, and I graduated from there and went to, I believe it was in September, I went to Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I went from extreme hot San Antonio to extreme cold Cheyenne, Wyoming, where it was the oldest barracks. Yeah, in fact, it was so cold that what they called the butt cans, where you put your cigarettes out, I did not smoke, they would freeze at night, the toilets would freeze at night, and it was rough. But there, and the reason I went to Cheyenne, Wyoming, to F.B. Francis, to communication school, I wanted to go into nursing, but the needs of the Air Force come first. And so I was sent to communication school, which consisted of teletype, switchboard, and a facsimile machine. I specialized in the teletype, and it was weather relay, which we learned a code and used the code in teletype to transmit the weather from all over the United States and abroad. I completed the schooling at F.E. Warren in Cheyenne. I went home on leave, and it was a little disappointing going home because women in the Air Force, women in the service in general at that time in the 50s, which was still 1952 now, was still not quite accepted. It was, why are you going into the service? Nice girls don't go into the service. What are you doing? Unless it was in nursing. I was happy with my choice. I've always been happy with my choice. I enjoyed Honolulu. I met my husband while I was in Honolulu. We were married at Hickam Air Force Base.
What was his name?
Neil Eastwood. And we were married at the base chapel. And then we moved off base after we got married, 98401 Kamehameha Highway. And King Kamehameha was, oh my goodness, that was really the big king there. I was at Hickam Air Force Base. We happened to have gone to the beach. And while we were at the beach, there was a plane that landed. We saw all these people over there, couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, there was King Kamehameha going over there. And it was the first time that they had allowed a Japanese plane to land at Hickam since the war. And I have pictures of it. And it actually was a Japanese with their Japanese emblem on the plane. And it was it was different, but it was good because they were being, accepted. They were, instead of being shot down and all, it was a good feeling to see it.
What did it mean to you personally to be there to see that?
The war was over, the Second World War was over. I stayed in Honolulu, got married, and then after I got pregnant, at that time, when you got pregnant in the service, you had to get out. I wanted to stay in. I was hoping I could stay in, but they didn't allow that. They did not let mothers stay in the service when they had dependent children. I had actually had a few friends in Washington, D.C. that had to give up custody of their children because they went into the service, they went into the military, but they said they had to get some kind of an education, something going, so that when they got out, they could help support their children.
You knew for a fact when you signed up that if you had children, you would have to, I guess, kind of abandon them in order to continue your.
Well, you had to give up custody. You had to give up custody to a parent or a grandparent, or somebody else had the legal say what to do, because you're going to be going basic school, and they could not be with you.